Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab, and I'm in the book. I got a nice lesson for you today. It's all about being God conscious, I call it, but they call it, what's that, devotional meditation? Yeah, that's what they call it. But I call it God conscious. What that mean? That means thinking about God all the time. God conscious. Let's talk about it. Rightisms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's always a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tuning in to receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get it together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's what I do for you. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, and to my God, be true. All right, we're going to talk about P. Funk's philosophy on devotional meditation is thinking God all the time. I told you God consciousness is having God on my mind all the time. So philosophical different, but the same thing. Let's talk about this because it's a technique that I think a lot of y'all might want to practice. All right, the technique again of what they call conscious devotional meditation. I call it meditative state of mind or God consciousness. And it's devotional meditation on God receives special treatment in the Vedanta philosophy as it is expressed in what they call the Yoga of Vashista. In this text, Lord Shiva explains to the sage Vashista the doctrine that's concerning the highest form of worship. Being devoted to God is the highest form of worship you can have. Be it religious, they don't make a difference. But devotion to God, watch this. This is what we're about to learn about right now. It consists of causing your mind to flow toward the divine self through seeing God in all things. God is all, the all is God. And when this is achieved, when this is achieved, you have a meditative state of mind. Know what they call it? Samadhi. I forgot about that. One of my favorite words. That's reaching that level of what? Enlightenment. We call it nihas. They call it samadhi. Same thing. Self-enlightenment, spiritual enlightenment, knowing thyself. Okay? It's also known as super consciousness. All right? So, and this is achieved when engaged in worldly activities, while engaged in worldly activities, and prior to the scientific advances in modern physics, in the last century, 100 years, aspirants were brought to the understanding that the underlying reality behind all objects is one and the same. Yeah, the one, I can tell you that, George told you that 50 years ago, half a century at least. But the divine self, aka God, through the spiritual practices, and this is what you got to practice, my religious people, through daily spiritual practices of listening, reflecting, and meditating. That's how you acquire and learn and better yourself. That's the technique for learning, and they still use it to this day. Okay? But you do all this on the teachings. You have to have a teacher, so you get the instructions from a qualified sage or saint. In modern physics, just as in the practice of the mystical right thinking philosophy, wisdom must transcend faith. Faith is having belief in something that's gonna not happen yet. Having faith that it will. So with your wisdom from having the faith, when it's laid out, you have obtained the wisdom. The faith gave in to what you did. You powered it through, made it happen for you. You manifested. That's when you got wisdom. So now you know what you're talking about. Okay, but even though atoms, we all know about them. We said that when Atum, when Ptah first came out of the noon, he had atom and did the work. Atoms are particles, and electricity have never been seen by the human eye. We know about them, yeah. Okay, the properties of it both are well understood, but we never seen them in the naked eye. All right, understand again. Today, it is now possible to pick up any number of books on modern physics with graphically show through experimental evidence, again, that the physical world is not really physical, okay? But that all phenomena is in reality just energy in various states of vibrational states and frequency. Therefore, it is no longer necessary to make the initial leap of faith or believing that there is an underlying reality to creation beyond the ordinary human senses. But from here, we may now begin our spiritual practice of what? Simply reminding ourselves when constantly, okay, what? That what we are seeing, feeling, hearing, thinking, etc. in the physical world is in reality just the divine self, having experience within himself through individuals we call ourselves. Further, that what is written in us with which perceives itself. Here you go, what? The divine self as well. Indeed, there is nothing else that exists that is not the divine self. We know be God. This is the kingdom in which Jesus says that man does not see. You can't see the Spirit. You can't see God. Though simply sounding, though simple sounding, this technique of being God conscious is one of the hardest forms of yoga to practice and master. And since it requires your constant control of your mind, and by applying it all, the continuous realization of the wisdom at your intellectual level until it is realized intuitionally. I do this muscle memory after years of practice. That is until now it becomes what? Self-evident muscle memory. The idea of one-pointed devotion to God, as well as to you realizing the oneness that you are with God. With God occurs in what? The Indian concept of Upanishads. They started 900 BCE. And we also, I'm going to give you a breakdown of the first one is A, that's the Indian Upanishads, and B is the Egyptian mythology, which took place in 5000 BCE to 100 BCE. And then it's mostly explicitly explained in the C, the Yoga of Vasishtha from 700 ACE. I'm going to give you a quick breakdown of how the oneness of God, becoming one with God and being God conscious all the time was practiced then. I just came up with the concept, but it's just right here. This is just perfect. Let's start with A, when the Upanishads. It says, seek to know Brahman, he's the all, the absolute, God, kingdom of heaven, from the Christian perspective, by acquiring what? Faith in the word of the scripture, meaning what they say, you have faith that what they say is going to be what they say. And in your guru, that's the inner you, okay? That inner voice, Be devoted to Brahman. Meditate on him unceasingly, not by work, nor by progeny, nor by wealthy, but by the devotion to him, and by indifference to the world does a man achieve his or her own immortality. You got to become one with God for yourself to save yourself. Ain't nobody coming. Jesus ain't coming back. Ain't the Messiah coming. You got to be your hero. The hero's journey. That's what they try to tell you. You got to save you. And if you in need of saving, you need to figure that out so you can save yourself. All right? Another part of Upanishad philosophy on the oneness: follow only the footsteps of the illuminated ones. That means the gurus, the saints, the sages, the enlightened ones. Follow and listen to them. Those fake pastors and other guys out here selling the Billy Goods just want your money. If they asking for your money, go the other way. The illuminated ones. And you got to be continuously meditating, and it will merge both your mind and your intellect into an eternal Brahman, becoming one with God through the heart, mind, coherent philosophical concepts. And they call it the glorious Lord will be revealed to you. If you use this and this, you'll find God. I've been telling you that for the longest. Watch this. Now, that was A from the Upanishad. Let's talk about the Egyptian philosophy, the Hermetic principle. When an idea exclusively occupies one mind, it is transformed into what we know to be actual physical state. Thoughts create matter. We bring it to existence. That's what we've been teaching. That's what we try to tell you. Reason of divinity may not be known except by a concentration of the senses like onto it. You got to go inside yourself to know yourself. That's where the higher self dwells. Okay, he's hidden inside you. Now, C, this is the yoga philosophy that makes it real easy to understand. While talking, opening and closing one's eyes, accepting and rejecting objects, and all such activities at all times. Again, being on top of your game, you can't relax. They said when Asar got what? A little intoxicated, he wasn't up on the game. He had sex with his brother's wife. Moving on. But that's when they get a little weak and get a little. And everybody make excuses for that. They telling you here, if you stay conscious and focused, you won't have that problem. Okay? Why? Because at all times, you're devoted to your higher self. I call it being God conscious. Okay? And what? By keeping yourself detached from the operations of one's mind. Whatever's going on in the situation, don't get too involved with it. Just handle yourself and be your best self and do what's right, and you'll be fine. Do not forget yourself, whether in life or in death, whether in pleasure or in pain. You be God conscious all the time and be devoted to the self. God was with me when I was doing all that nonsense. I just wasn't conscious of it, okay? But when you become devoted, you know he's there all the time. And watch this. When you're devoted to yourself, whether your body is young or old, whether you have prosperity or adversity in life, whether you are in dream or sleep, underlying reality behind all the phenomena, internal and external, God, aka Kingdom of Heaven, is within, not out. Everybody been saying that, and we've been hearing it forever. So if you ain't got that part by now, you ain't been paying attention. This is from the Bhagavad Gita. It says, from the Gita, we get the following. Chapter 10, Yoga of Divine Glory. That's God. And it says here, to them whose minds rest in the divine, not like that, who worship me ceaselessly. That's what Mayat is all about. She does her thing all the time for God with devotion to me. I give the yoga of wisdom by which they are able to attain me. He put it there so that we could use it to get to him. The idea behind this technique described above is that the mind does not behold other levels of existence. No, the kingdom, nirvana, etc. is all heaven, is all the state of mind. And because the mind is variously agitated, worldly thoughts, egoistic concepts from the ignorance, now thoughts that reinforce the apparent reality of the world and no other realities. When you are one focused mind, that's what you understand. And by keeping one idea in the mind, what constantly on God, the effect of what your concentration in your mind is achieved, and you will reach the highest level you need to become what? One with your higher self. So therefore, your concentrated mind, thus being focused on the one, is able to behold the reality which it seeks, your higher self, God. In this respect, many exercises are given, because everybody had a way to get to God. It's given in a Gnostic Christianity. Gnostic means to know. Gnostic Christianity, as well as other religious systems, to bring about a condition in which your mind is brought to a state wherein it is devoid of agitation, aka supreme peace, at one with yourself, content with your life. Hence, you have the Christian teachings admonishing one to what? Love one's enemy, having no worry as the lilies of the field, and to treat others as one would like to be treated, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay. But if these principles, and that's what they are, were to be practiced daily, there would develop a now condition of what we call mind characterized by indifference or equal vision. Everything is seen the same equally, accepting the pleasure or the sorrow equally. If you did something that caused you pain, that's on you. Deal with it. When you get the blessing, you do something to earn your blessings, you are happy, yeah, but you continue to do that. If you want to stay blessed, keep doing the things that get you blessed. Continuously. I do. And when you're seeking nothing from the world, offering up selfless service, doing what's right, now, while being fulfilled by what? A supreme peace within yourself of mind. And you reach contentment, which ensues from this way of life. I can attest to that. That's the difference. Okay, I know that. Let me give you one thing. Now, this is from Luke. You know, I ain't biblical. Let me give you a quick thing from Luke, right quick. All right. These are a few phrases from Luke, from 27 to 31. I don't know why my pastor, he called out whatever we insert. We're doing Luke chapter 6, verse 27. It says, "But I say to you, O hear, love your enemies, do good to them who hate you." Luke, I feel you, but I can't reach you. I don't subscribe to that philosophy. I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm reading through. I wouldn't subscribe to that one, so I ain't gonna go there. Again, difference in opinion don't mean you right and I'm wrong, or vice versa. It just means what you do, I don't subscribe to, and what I do, you don't. So that's fine. Number 28, bless them that curse you. I don't know what Luke was into. And pray for them who despitefully use you. Anybody who mistreat me, my pastor's good at that. This is obviously a biblical concept. I don't subscribe to that one either. I'm going to check right there. The first two philosophical concepts from the Bible, from Luke, I'm not in compliance with. Let me see number 3. And to him that smites thee on the one cheek, oh hell no. All for also the other, that's my pastor. sorry. And offer him that taketh away thy cloak, forbid not to take thy coat away. Wait a minute, hold on, stop, go back. Run this back. And to him that smite thee on the face, smack my face, okay, the cheek, you offer also the other. They got a little quotation. Stop. Not me. Not me. I'm from the projects. We don't allow that smacking cheek. Stop. No. You just an invitation to fight. That's what that is. Okay. You want to get a fight started? Slap my face. I'm punching you in yours, but I get the fight started my way. You get it your way. But if you slap me, I'm punching you. Moving on. But and then the next one says, and him that taketh away thy cloak, forbid not to take thee coat also. Okay, wrongdoing don't act, but nah. But I told you, I don't subscribe to that. Why? I said, if you do me wrong, if you take my cloak, and I get a chance to take your cloak, I'm going to take your cloak. I don't subscribe to that one either. Again, I don't have a problem. I'll let you know where I stand. And if you do me, I'm going to do you. You slap my face, we fighting. I'm not that nice guy. I'm going to turn on the cheek. No, that never worked. In my neighborhood, where you come from, maybe, where I come from, that don't fly. In prison, it ain't going either, so, Give, number 30, so far, I ain't agree with 27, 28, or 29. I'm not down with Luke. I don't know who he is, but I'm not with him. Now, number 30, give to every man that asks of thee. Hell no. And of him that taketh away thy goods, ask them not again. You got, see, all this is for I'm not a forgiving dude. I don't do forgiving. See, I'm not a nice guy. If you trespass against me, I'm going to trespass on you. If you do something to me, I get a chance, I'm going to do it to you. Do unto others as others have done unto you. That's my philosophy. So if you did me wrong, I'm guaranteed I'm going to do you wrong. I'm telling you, simple. Well, the Bible, I don't give a damn what the Bible says. I'm telling you. I don't read the Bible. Respectfully. All right. Number 31. Again, let me take it home with this one. And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also them likewise. What the hell? And as ye would that men treat others the way you want to treat you. I don't know what that's what he's trying to say, but ye would that men should to do you, do ye also to them likewise. Okay. Anything you do to me, I'm going to do to you. If it's good, we good. If it's bad, that's on you. Why? If you did it to me, I'm going to do it to you. That's my philosophy. So I'm going to stop right there. Oh, no, I got some more. I'll stop at that. I got to get there. I'm going to stop after this one. I see this one I want to get to. I'll wait to get there. This process we just talked about is of maintaining continuous awareness or your vigilance of your mind to be constantly on God. It forms a continuous meditative state on the divine. That's my point. I'm God. I tell you, that's what I'm trying to explain. This is what I do. I'm God conscious all the time. And when what? This leads to what? A condition of what we call absolute transcendence in the phenomenal world of time and space when you experience what? Your God consciousness all the time by doing what's right, earning your blessing, and your life is good. This process is described indirectly or implicitly implied in the Christian text. I just got finished reading some of it from the Bible and even the Quran. More explicitly in your Gnostic Christian text, as well as the Egyptian and the Eastern spiritual scriptures. This teaching is perhaps the most important element of your spiritual disciplines that you practice, as it is directly related to your own spiritual transformation of your human heart and mind. Ding, 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 ding. There we go. Back there again. It must be clearly understood by you that this practice of continuous awareness, I call it God consciousness, spiritual discipline, of these teachings cannot be performed half-heartedly. All in or nothing. Of what? Of whenever it is found to be convenient. It don't work on your terms. I'm up every day doing what I need to do. I don't give a damn how I feel. Don't care what I think. That's what I do. It's a routine. Follow it, set it, and stand on it. It must be practiced when every day. Hour and minute of your waking time. I'm conscious of God all the time. And as well, we will see also while what we're asleep, I still God conscious. I'm a lucid dreamer. I take God in my dreams. It is essential that that it's essential that all thoughts within your mind are what? Vigilantly, vigilantly watched over so as not to allow your egoistic thoughts, ding, 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 they aware of the ego, trust me, to the center and take hold of your mind. Don't let the ego get you. Don't let the ego lead you down that road of despair and that road to what? Destruction. Ego, the hieroglyphic for the ego is a man with a hatchet to his head. I modernize that, put a gun in his hand. That's the ego, okay? It's self-destructive. That's the concept. And we all know about it. In this way, your egoistic impressions of your past lives wane while they are less what? Hold on the mind. The better you get at controlling the ego, the less power and control he have over you to lead you what? In the wrong direction. But in this way, your egoistic impressions of the past wane, okay, or less, new ones being created. If you don't stop it, it's going to create new ones. It's not going to stop on its own, your ego. And through this daily practice of the senses controlling the body and your consciousness, keep your mind on God, and your identification with your mind gradually will start to decrease. The ego mind will start to decrease until there is what? It finally disappears. It become what? Your bitch, your servant is going to work for you when you need it to. It got no more power over you. When you study daily the following teachings carefully and you reflect on them, their meaning, and then you meditate on it, whatever is possible, whatever you conceive in your mind, you can achieve in your life. That's the concept. That's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Right thinkers, man. You all live to be 100. Me, 100 miles a day. So I'll never know my right thinkers who have devotional meditation, meaning they got God on their mind. They thinking God all the time and passed away. If you ain't thinking God, you ain't thinking right. I'm out.